I've always been into RC cars and that kind of thing, and one of the more fun times that I've had with RC cars was with XMods from Radio Shack. Obviously they don't exist anymore, and I was really interested to find if there was something similar. Did some quick digging and found out that there is a much better version of that type of RC car called Kyosho Mini Zs. They are much higher quality than the XMods ever were. So I got the Celica GT-Four WRC car. One of the more fun things I remember with XMods was driving them in the dark. You could get a lighting kit, and that would allow you to see the car, headlights and taillights and everything in the dark really well. They make a light kit for the Kyosho Mini Zs, but it only comes with 2 headlights and 2 taillights. The cool thing with this WRC car is it has a lot of lights. My plan is to make a light kit that uses every light on the car. So that is the 2 tail lights, 8 front lights. So that'll be quite a bit more complicated than just the standard 2 and 2. So these little cars are pretty cool. Detail on the actual model itself is kind of nuts. Alright, pop it open. So I've already modded a little bit, going from AAA batteries, which I would go through a million of over the course of this thing's lifetime, or Li-Fi batteries, not lithium ion or lithium polymer. They're different. We're not worrying about that right now. What we're worrying about is this connector, which is actually the lights. For now, I just have this, which is going to be the correct connector type. Connects in here really tightly. I have a ton more lights. 2 standard lights, top 4, and then these 2 lower floodlights. And what I'd like to do would be to have all these top lights be the white light, and then these 2 lower ones be a kind of amber floodlight. This is how the wiring is separated out. White and yellow are going to be the front light, and the black and red are going to be the rear light. I'm just going to plug it into the car, check out the voltages just to make sure that that does align with what I've seen online. I used a breadboard to test all the lights as they would be in the car. The 3 sets of white LEDs, the single set of amber, and the single set of red for the taillights. I ran into a problem where only the amber and the red set were being lit. If the amber set was disconnected, the white LEDs would light. By adding a resistor to the amber light set, it allowed the amber and the white LEDs to light. 3 200 ohm resistors seem to work the best. So before actually even bothering to solder those up, I gotta figure out kind of a game plan for where those LEDs are going to go. There is transparent plastic for each one of these lights, so I think all that really has to happen is to drill from the other side. I think I'm going to break those welds so that I can pop this off, and I'll have a much more direct access to everything behind it. The rear tail lights are actually the part I'm least excited to do anything with because they're very thin. There's not a lot of plastic there. The hope is going to be to actually just kind of scratch away at this base white plastic with some sort of tool. So I'm down here with a Dremel because I believe that's going to be the safest way to get pieces out of those, or at least make room within the pieces of plastic. So I'm going to be using this really fine-tipped end to make some room. And then I think I'm going to be switching over to this ball end to then get more of the shape of the LED and maybe even move up a size as well. I've got places cut in all of the front light assembly for the LEDs to go, but that's on the actual lights themselves that I removed from the body. So now I have to cut into the body so the wires can go inside and then be connected up. So this will be the first time I'm actually cutting into the body. Everything else I've been able to just probably glue back on, but this is going to be a bit more permanent. So I just came back up and I wanted to do a little bit of testing to see what it would look like. Pretty cool. I'm liking how that looks. Since we're getting double the voltage for one LED and we're going to use two in serial so that they both get half, I have to wire up them in pairs. So the Rally light bar gets two sets because there are 4 lights. So I'm just going to be soldering the negative leg from this LED to the positive leg of that LED, and then coming from the car we have the positive and the negative. So then this will just work as one unit. And then I'll do the same here, and then so on and so forth for all the other pairs. I have both pairs for this array set up and fully wired, so I'm going to test them, see how this looks. Pretty bright. So I figured out for the pop-up lights, all I have to do is set an LED to go where the old screw hole was, right there, and they fit really well. So this is what I came up with to put the resistors together so that I don't have that issue between the white and the orange or yellow LEDs. I finished the rear taillight assembly, which is just the 2 LEDs soldered in series, but I also ground off the lens on the LED so they will diffuse a bit more. They won't be as focused of a beam, so they should look better as taillights. All these LEDs fit really nicely in here. That just kind of happened to work out. And now I just need to get them in there a little bit more permanently. So I'm going to be using a little bit of hot glue just to kind of stick them in so they don't move any farther. And then once they're in this, then we move to the actual car body. So what I was able to do down with the Dremel was take this nice little line right out of the car body, so that way all the wires have a nice place to go. So I've already gotten the rear set up because this is much simpler. I just wanted to try this out, and this does work. So I was able to chew out from behind the lights, and they are transparent now, so the red will come through really nicely. At this point, all the lights were in the car and needed to be soldered together and to the connector. All the positive and negative wires from each pair were soldered to the positive and negative wire respectively from the connector. This way, they would all work as if there were only one set connected. Superglue was the best option to attach the light housings back to the body. As a finishing touch, Nicole whipped up a handsome-looking acrylic and walnut stand for the car, with a custom nameplate emblazoning Toyota Celica GT-Four. Oh, that's really nice!
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, they'll have to turn the lights on.
Yeah, I think that's really cute.
That's really nice.